Hey guys, Holy back, and I hope this will help you guys out if you're just new to Pokemon or learning. So, without further ado, here's Holy's breeding guide. Anyway, breeding was first introduced in Gold and Silver, but let's just get right into how you have to do it. What you'll need is a Destiny Knot. This will help you pass down IVs, which I will explain what that is later. After that, you're going to need an Everstone. This will pass down Natures. I'll also explain what those have to do as well. Then you'll want to get yourself a Pokemon with the ability Flame Body, preferably Talonflame, because he can also fly you around and do you whatever you want. After that, you'll probably need a Mach Bite, so that you can go really fast to hatch your eggs. And then, after you get your Mach Bite, you'll need the hatching O-Power, and it works well with Flame Body. Another good thing to have is access to the Battle Resort, because I'll explain why later for that, why that's perfect. And lastly, you'll need a 6 IV Pokemon to help you get through things easier. Now, a 6 IV Ditto can be hard to find in nowadays, and it's only really around since a Gen 4 glitch, but here's just a list of each egg group of a common Pokemon you can get in an ORAS. Monster and Field, Bug and Human-like, Fairy and Grass, Water 1 and Flying, Water 2 and Dragon, Water 3, Mineral, Amorphous. But since there are multiple groups, you can have crazy things breeding with each other, like Wailord and Skitty, and you can even have a Charizard and a Magikarp breed. And now you're probably wondering, what's this offspring going to be? Well, that all depends on the gender. The female will always pass down their species to the offspring. So if the Skitty's female, then the Skitty will be the baby. And if the Wailord's female, the Wailord will be the baby. Alright, we got it? Good. Let's move on. Let's move on to natures. Now, the nature of a Pokemon determines what it's going to be more powerful in one stat and least in another. So, for example, if you have a Pokemon that's better at being a physical attacker, you would have it probably be Adamant, because it raises its attack and lowers its special attack, and it won't really need its special attack. This chart here determines what gives you what, and it's really good to sort of know this. Not by heart, but at least have it by for reference. For example, let's just use Charizard. You see, he mainly has speed and special attacks, so you'll want to give it a timid nature to raise his speed and lower his attack, as he won't need any attack, or even modest if you want him more powerful, because high special. But there's some things that are different. Because if you're actually building the Charizard to be a Mega Charizard X, you might want him to be more of a jolly nature, because a physical attacker, he won't need special attacks to raise his speed. And on the opposite spectrum, Adamant raises attack and lowers special attack. And that's better since he's not a special attacker and you won't need that IV. And you're probably wondering now that I mentioned it, what is an IV? Well, time for me to explain. Now, what are IVs, you probably wonder? Basically, you take the HP, then you put it to times 2 of the base, plus the IV, then, plus the EV over 4. Yeah, we're not going to deal with that math. No one likes math, honestly, so how about I just simplify this for you guys, okay? Alright. Basically, when a Pokemon's hatched from an egg, it is assigned a random value to each stat that starts at 0 being the very weakest, and you wouldn't want any of that, and then it goes up to 31 being the highest. Now, this determines how the stats go up through how they're leveled. And as usual, again, let's just have Charizard for an example on how we use these stats. Say the Charizard, when you breed him, you want 31 in speed and special attack, and not in regular attack, unless you're having a Megazard Y, because that's the physical attacker. Now, to pass down these IVs, you used a Destiny Knot. And this has only been introduced in Gen 6, so it's really easier now. Simply, you take your 6 IV Pokemon, you take your Destiny Knot, you slap that Destiny Knot onto the Pokemon, there you go, you're good as gold. After you do that, you breed it with the Pokemon you want to breed with and to have the offspring of, and there you go. 5 random IVs are passed down and mostly they're from that 6 IV Pokemon. They can be from the other, but this gives you a better chance now of giving you what you'll need. And, if you want to pass the nature down, you simply give the other Pokemon an Everstone. And this makes things a lot easier too, because you have that 6 IV Pokemon, and then the other Pokemon's just standing around doing nothing. Well, if he has the nature you want, you slap him an Everstone onto this guy, there you go. You don't have to breed for nature anymore, as the nature's being passed down from that. And then you have the 5 random IVs from the other one, and that's the only thing you're breeding for is IVs. Are we good there? Alright, we're good. Let's move on to the next thing you need. Probably wondering why I said you need to go to the Battle Resort. Well, one of the best reasons is this guy here. He can tell you the IVs of your Pokemon when you breed them, so you don't have to use a calculator. He'll say instantly, I would say its greatest potential lies in its, and then he'll say the stats that have the max IVs. This helps you so you don't have to go online, type in all these things. But this isn't the only best thing about the Battle Resort. Also, if you look at the overhead map here, there's actually an infinite loop you can use to just hold the up button, and you can hatch eggs faster. You start at the circle, and just hold up button, and there you go. Your infinite loop around the Battle Resort. That way you won't have to waste time hatching eggs back and forth. And if you have the Pokemon with Flame Body and the hatching O power, there you go. That basically triples the egg time, and it'll take 3 times less. But that's basically a long version, and you guys probably, if it's a little complicated, I'm just going to shorten it up now for you to make things easier. Alright? The Destiny Knot passes down 5 random IVs, so it saves you time of breeding for IVs. The Everstone passes down the nature, so you only have to breed for IVs. The female will always pass down its species, so the mother will be the child, except Ditto. And the thing I didn't touch on is egg moves. It's really complicated, as there's all different for any Pokemon, so just look up Pokemon on Bulbapedia if you want to know the egg moves, and that'll simplify everything for you, and it helps. And then lastly, just the infinite loop is there, so you can just hold press up and go to the Pokemon Center to check the IVs. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Holy's breeding guide right there. Now, again, this might be a little complicated, so if you really, really need to know anything else or have questions, just write in the comments or shoot me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!